old is Osimhen that is going to call it quit? You can always
25.
revive your career at any time.
Chelsea would not revive your career. Chelsea would rather ruin your career. We've seen what Chelsea has done to great strikers in the game.
Yeah, that's if he doesn't. You should not wear their number.
The last time Chelsea had a proper out and out striker was it not Costa?
For me, even forget about
was Diego Costa. Victor Osimhen's transfer saga continues, and it's not looking good for the man. Reports have, we've been hearing conflicting reports regarding Osimhen, but what we are sure of is the fact that Chelsea are interested in Osimhen and Napoli don't want him at the moment. So guys, how did it become this bad for the reigning African footballer of the year? That club that they are now hawking him now like
Gala.
I didn't
that's what his agent said now.
Yes, now even said.
He just said, why are you talking about my client like this?
It's not. It's that's how it is because
I remember weeks back where I insinuated that for me, Osimhen should have gone to Saudi, and he was like, oh, why would you say that? And we are seeing what is happening now, but like, what do you make of the old Osimhen transfer saga?
Well, I think that Victor has played himself into a very difficult situation, right? Because first of all, you have to ask, why are Napoli so desperate to get rid of
someone that led them to
a league title and everything? It's obvious that there are certain issues that even before Conte came on board and wanted Lukaku by fire by force. It was obvious that the relationship was strained. Always issues here and there with
plus
the
what
club.
Happened within the handler, the
thing with the handler, but it's not just the actual issue. It's the mouthpieces for Osimhen. You know that he has a lot of influencer friends and all of that, and they were running with a narrative about Napoli fans being racist and stuff like that, which were like very, very annoying from their own side, and things like that. And every time, like when Omar came out to say that yes, he knows that Osimhen will not sign a new deal, that was even before he signed the deal. Basically insinuating, and that pissed off the Napoli fans. And it's almost like everybody associated with him doesn't realize that anything they say is taken as Osimhen saying it, or using them to say what really is on his mind. And of course, for the racism part, he had to come out and say, no, the fans have always been wonderful with me and stuff like that. But all those things strained relationships. And when Kylian's agent said something and Osimhen went and cussed him out, and all that, it's just constant issues that keep coming up. And then on top of that, his injury problems, and even one of the injuries, or a few of the injuries, probably maybe he comes to play for Nigeria with our pitches and everything, and then he gets injured. And that was what happened that made him miss the key Champions League game in that season where he was like on fire. That was 2022-2023 when he was on fire, and then he had to miss the Champions League game, and they were already in trouble. By the time he came back, everything was pretty much gone. So it's obvious that his relationship with the club, his relationship with the fans, a bit strained, and at this point they just feel like, you know what, let's just sell this guy. And I think there was already an agreement anyway between them that he will be sold this summer, and they're standing on their own that okay, he has to be sold, and this is the price they want. And we know how Napoli are with negotiating; they don't they don't budge. So he's now in a really tight corner. I said it last year that he was supposed to leave last year, because as soon as Spalletti left, there was an uncertainty. You don't know what direction this club is going to go. I said now is the time to go. Find your stock is highest now. I'm usually an advocate for players staying at clubs where they are loved and comfortable and everything. But with Osimhen, I could foresee that the next way that the club would go would be down because of like maybe
it's a regular thing in the Serie A. Clubs are not really that consistent. We've seen that even when Inter Milan won the league the next season,
but
they did
some
not
clubs
have the money. Conte
able
had
to sustain.
AC Milan. So look at the previous winners of the league. They've not been able to sustain that success, and that's why I felt like you said he should have just left Napoli.
And on top of that, I also think that he has not handled his brand as seriously as he should. That's the big elephant in the room, that everybody is tiptoeing around the point. But let us be serious. One player will play 6 months in Portugal, and brand himself like this, whatever, and next thing, person's going on 20 million after 6 months. This guy which is, I understand his agent's anger. Like, why are you talking about my client like this? Like, someone that even the suggestion that the reigning African Footballer of the Year should go on loan with option to buy.
Okay.
I felt that report insulting, and it was good that it came to. But
again, it goes back to branding.
Speaking about what Sarah said, it's a very big one, and that will lead me to a question for you. Yeah. So based on what you just said now, like I'm seeing them say 70 million plus Lukaku, who is rated 30 million in code. So if my math is not wrong, that's 100 million. But I still feel in a market where Caicedo went for how much?
Over 100 million.
Enzo Fernandez went for how much? So my question to you is...
to the same Chelsea.
Yeah, my question to you is, why... It's 2-in-1 actually. Up until now, PSG and Chelsea are the only top...
Serious offers.
Top side.
Chelsea is not even really serious.
At least they are interested in a very serious manner. The other clubs, Arsenal and co, just rumors, nothing concrete. So my question to you is, 2-in-1. Why are other big clubs for a striker like Osimhen, his profile is not like out there in excess? All the top clubs should be after him, 1. And number 2, how much is he actually worth in today's market?
Okay, if you look at a player like Osimhen, it should be the hottest. Like, if not for anything, prior to this transfer market, everyone knew that Osimhen's transfer should be one of the biggest hits after that of Mbappe, because everyone knew that Mbappe was leaving. But you look at scenarios that have happened and events also leading to it. There's no way where we can talk about Victor Osimhen's indiscipline as a player. Because if there's anything that happened, if there's anything that happened, for the fact that Fabrizio had even posted that, and that was as a story, that has gone wild.
Yes, something for you, yeah. Speaking about indiscipline, Mbappe, there were times where the media reported about Mbappe also dealt with PSG.
I'm getting to a point. Just reports. No, those were reports, and they did not have. But this time, it was evident. Apart from being evident, there is something that clubs do not joke with, and which is their privacy. You see the fact that thing he did where you had a conversation with your coach, or normally you're never supposed to record, and then you made it know that you knowingly recorded that, and then you not just that, there's a way you take out information, because communication is key. That why did Ronaldo leave United? Why did they have? Because communication is key. Why did Lukaku not play again for Chelsea? Communication is key, and clubs are not ready to be modeled into such kind of controversy.
If Ronaldo can get hits,
Osimhen cannot even lace the boots yet. He can't. Like, there's no way you can't talk about. You can't even put them in the same cadre. So these are the things. No, that I'm saying yes because it's still there.
You can't list ever.
No, wait. Now, do you know why I say yes?
Don't be shy. Don't be shy to say it.
Okay, let's put it. Yes, we know you can't. Yes, we know you can. But I'm just trying to, I'm just signing for potential. I'm just looking at potentials. So those are the things you look at, and then you have to question yourself. Arsenal would have gone for Osimhen.
I think so.
But if there's anybody we know that does not like crisis, that wants to always be in charge, that Arteta.
Mikel Arteta was ready to be in 18th position, bench his captain. So he was happy to do that to prove a point.
So those are the things you see, and it's not actually. And apart from that, whether we like it or not, Osimhen is an injury-prone player. Yeah. Apart from our pitch, I don't think any player gets injured. After all, Lenny Yoro got injured while playing normal, so because it's part of the game. But he's a player that's injured, and then that even De Laurentiis himself have made it known, like he has also put this sort of embargo on African players that will not be there for you during January when you need them the most. English clubs not really look at that, but then with that sort of attitude you have plus your injury problems, let's know that Haaland has injury problems, but City signed him, and then they got him their own personal doctors that always move around with him. That's because this is a player that we know that he can give us his numbers, is going to be there. So for Osimhen, it's something that he cost on his own end, because for whatever we are doing, especially as a public figure, you should not always remember that there is a ripple effect. And then you look at a club, you keep asking yourself, why And I feel one other thing he got it wrong was the fact that he also extended that contract. Because when your contract is sort of, I'm saying, like that new contract that was signed, when your contract is a bit close.
I think it was an agreement with him and Napoli to preserve
it's normal agreement that players used to do. Mbappe did his own and he saw it tough now. I'm just saying that just like Bonnie said, you should know when you should leave. So where I feel he got it wrong was extending that contract, because after Spalletti went, everyone knew that the success of Napoli might not be sustained, because we don't know how it's going to be. Because when you extend a contract, you give your club higher power more, because once, let's say it's 1 year, a club knows that if we do not sell you in 6 months time, you now have the chance to start speaking with any client and even sign a pre-contract.
But is it more about the fact to sign it or the release clause that was
So now look at the release clause too. It's supposed to be over from the release clause. It has to be over 100.
Yeah,
that is how it needs to be. But you look at it now, clubs are not willing. For a big club as PSG not to be willing to pay that amount, knowing that you lost your biggest player and you need someone of something maybe close to that quality, if not higher, to lace that boots, we are not ready to pay that. That speaks a lot on its own end. Because I don't understand how you want to start doing Osimhen.
I think PSG, there are other clauses included in
no, PSG, they wanted to pay. They also wanted De Laurentiis wanted them to add another player again. On what grounds? because that's the thing.
That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous because De Laurentiis, if there's anything Osimhen should know, is that their club chairman has always been a greedy person when it has to be transfers.
But is he really greed? You signed a player 70 million. He came in one league for you. There's no way in this market.
But why is this so?
Factually, take away this whole drama that went on with Osimhen Finidi on neutral grounds. Osimhen for 150 million. Why not?
Why not?
Well,
why not?
What goes normal? Like currently, if you judge.
No, why not? Because when you are saying
that's the most attractive striker in the market.
I mean, after Mbappe and Haaland and Vini, which player should actually command a more better transfer amount?
It has to be Osimhen, but they are hawking him now.
And that's why anybody that thinks that all those other issues are not contributing to the reluctance of this clause, the person is being delusional.
Just being delusional.
First of all, you're already at a disadvantage because of your injury history. He has had about 14 injuries in the last 4 seasons.
Damn.
13-14 injuries in the last 4 seasons. Last season he was out for about 5 or 6 times. That is a problem on its own that is already affecting you.
Because clubs will
then
also
when you now add the baggage of the drama every time, there's always some drama happening around. It just reduces.
Because I'm talking about Saudi. Come on, it's not yet time. No, it's not yet time for that.
We'll see what
it's not yet time for that. I think Osimhen is going to get that.
The reports with Chelsea,
he's going to get
doesn't want to
the disappointment.
It won't be the way.
I mean, let me tell you why I said Saudi. I'm not saying Osimhen should be playing at the peak of his powers right now, but my point is, if you are leaving Napoli, it should be an upgrade. Yes. If he goes to PSG, we know that that means Chelsea is a downgrade.
Osimhen, but when we are talking about an upgrade, we know that the Saudi league, it's not an upgrade.
I'm not saying it's an upgrade, but I'm saying if you would leave Napoli and you cannot get better, go and get money.
No, it's not just go and get money. Come on, players. How old is Osimhen that is going to call it? You can 25. Always revive your career at any time.
Chelsea would not revive your career. Chelsea would rather ruin your career. We've seen what Chelsea has done to great strikers in the game.
Yeah, that's if he doesn't. The last
time Chelsea had a proper out-and-out striker was it not Costa?
For me, even forget about the history behind Chelsea and everything. My own problem is that club is very unstable.
It's very unstable. At this point in time, it's a downgrade for
sacking managers every season. But Kopama was able to thrive, right?
Yeah. But now he has to work under a different manager.
Come on.
I understand.
Sacking managers every season.
He's not the one that will
signing too many players.
So that means Osimhen will do what?
Osimhen should thrive now because he has the experience.
It's not about thriving. Okay, if Osimhen should ball out, score 50 goals for Chelsea, and Chelsea finish 7th.
Who cares about his goals?
What happens next? You are still playing.
I understand what you're saying because of Chelsea, because of the inconsistency in Chelsea. My own is not about Chelsea, but I'm saying leaving the top 5 leagues in Europe is
I'm not for that. But at this point, what are his options?
At this point, it's
Osimhen's
not
3
an
options now.
Chelsea is a big downgrade.
No, but it's not.
Napoli is even way better than Chelsea.
Just stay in Napoli.
Just stay in Napoli. Why go to Chelsea?
You just
then go to Saudi. That's why I said then go to Saudi.
But wait. When he wanted to leave, they said, come and sign contract.
Yes,
and he signed it, right? So now if he says, I want to stay, you want to drive him away?
You can't.
You have a contract, I want to start, bench me 1 year.
It's like when they wake up, he's not with the team currently, right? He's on his own.
Yes, because he himself wants to leave. So but when he has looked at his options...
When coach has told you that I don't like you, what do you want to do in training?
Coach, does coach have a choice? If they don't sign him, Lukaku, what's coach going to do?
Napoli to Chelsea, is it an upgrade or a downgrade?
It's not an upgrade currently.
But to be fair, Napoli are not even in Europe.
Yes, and Chelsea too.
Chelsea are in conference league.
Two of them are sinking ship. But which ship would you rather sink with right now?
Just stay where
I would rather sink with the ship that has Antonio Conte.
Yes, but the thing we are saying that ship we are saying that they don't even want to make room for Osimhen.
But what choice will they have if he says he's not going again and they can't sign Lukaku?
Exactly.
No, the option. No, what we are saying now is about the Saudi and also going to Chelsea. I'm not even taking about
saying
because
that
I know that if they don't sell him, he's still going to the club. That's
he's saying that Saudi is what he thinks that Osimhen should do. Me, I'm saying that I think Osimhen should just.
I'm not saying he should go to Saudi. I'm saying if you are leaving Napoli and you are not looking for a better club with all these options, you are just better
instead of him to go to Chelsea, should go to Saudi.
Yes, what's Chelsea? Where you be playing with Anselmo and another players.
Is Anselmo
the Chelsea move is a big risk.
Can Chelsea fans even name their first 11?
The Chelsea move is a big risk in that because I remember that when we're talking about the positives of Osimhen. The positives of Osimhen. When we're talking about the positives of Osimhen going to PSG, we're looking at also the fact that he won't have to run so much. So preserving himself, and if he goes to Chelsea, he will walk like a horse and get more injuries. Also, it's a risk in that if you go to Chelsea and because their play is so all over the place and you now don't impress or you are not able to score enough goals.
The French media already know him.
Yes,
already,
and they already respect him.
They respect him. Now you're opening yourself to new scrutiny.
Is that Chelsea? His rep can disappear. They'll just say you're not a good player.
It's normal.
That you only did well because you're in Farmers League. Do you know what happens to players if they don't shine in England?
We've already had
no matter what they go on to do after England.
We've seen that happen.
Nobody wants
you can't revive yourself. Pepe could not in any way, even there. But one person at least. Granit Xhaka.
He had to shine in Arsenal first.
He had to shine.
If Xhaka had left Arsenal at the peak of his issues,
exactly.
Everybody will say he's doing it only because he's in the
That's why I'm still thankful to Arteta for giving him that chance to make a U-turn.
Why I always say players, if you flop in England or if you have any issues in England and you go out, if you want to revive your rep, you have to come back to England and show them. That's what Salah did. That's the only reason why people rate Salah. When Salah was in Italy, shiny, they said, oh, this one that flopped in England. I beg, it's because Serie A is useless. He had to come back to England and show them. Yes, KDB too. They were saying, why are they buying KDB? That was this rubbish. Because he signed in a dead league. That is it. So Osimhen is going to be taking a risk with his. If he was going to a Man City, it's less of a risk, right? But if you're going to a Chelsea, there's a lot of instability at Chelsea. Let's be honest. They have a lot of issues with the number of players that they are signing. Today they have signed this person, tomorrow, like lots of issues and nobody even knows what to expect from Maresca. You cannot take that kind of risk at this level.
We know what to expect.
And also, Osimhen is supposed to be playing in Champions League every season. African Footballer of the Year. I don't want to hear it. So if you're not playing Champions League, why are you joining a team that's not playing Champions League? Just stay where you are.
So you'll be playing in Bulgaria and Conference League.
It's
well, anyway, life is all about risks. And when we're talking about risks, know that there's no risk once you comment.
He needs to go and work on his brand and improve his brand.
There's no risk. Sticking with betting experts. Like, comment, do everything. In fact, we will sign you. But until then, we still have us. Make sure you join us on the next episode as we keep you updated with everything happening in the transfers ahead of the new season.